Hey everyone, welcome to this vlog for today, the 22nd of April 2013. It's hard to believe it's the 22nd already. But anyway, been quite an interesting week, if not a weekend, if you will. I mean, of course, we all know about what happened a week ago, and again, thoughts and prayers go to the families and people involved in that tragedy, and thank God the suspects have been taken down, one fatally, and one right now being interrogated, or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully this is over. So hopefully this is over with. But still, again, prayers and thoughts go out to the families and people affected by this. And that's really about it. I do know that my uncle Roland's funeral took place in Kansas a week ago, and that he's now laid to rest there. It's at the Woodward Cemetery. I can't think of the name right now. It's in Washington, Kansas, basically borderline in Washington, Kansas, and Haddam, Kansas. And what's funny is I looked this up, and I'm thinking, well, I may have seen it, but not really, so I looked it up. And the reason I really never took notice of it is because it's one of those very old cemeteries, not used as much as it should be. In fact, not very much used at all, if you know what I mean. Not very much used at all. And he was laid to rest there. And again, the reason I say this cemetery seemed to be not one of the many, I should say. Ugh, still waking up a little bit. Still not one of the many. It's due to the fact that a lot of the people that have been laid to rest there, a majority of them, were laid to rest between the 1880s, if not the 1870s, all the way up to the 1940s and 30s, and I think even maybe early 50s. The only other person that's been laid to rest later than he was, a lot in the more recent times than he was an older lady, I guess, and she was laid to rest there 2 years before. So it does get used. It just doesn't get used as much because the majority of the people laid to rest there, from what I've seen, are from the Civil War, which is really surprising. And I think that's what kind of my dad probably looked around and be like, this is interesting. Because he's a Civil War buff, so he probably looked and saw some Civil War, stuff there. Anyway, like I was saying, he was laid to rest there. That's all we know. I mean, they're probably going to get a tombstone or a plaque for him or something like that to put there. But anyway, after that, like I said, it's been an interesting week. For example, we've had my nephew most of the week at times, not throughout the nights or anything. So, just watching him a few hours. We had him over the weekend, but that was about it. Yeah, we had him over the weekend, but basically throughout the week, he and I would kind of switch off and on. You see, when I would get bored at times and he would go home, I would play the Mario Super Sluggers or something like that, because he wanted me to help him unlock some things on the game. You see this game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have played it. It basically has a lot of characters, and fortunately, we were able to, on his own, on my own, we were fortunate enough to unlock all the characters that were needed for this, to play with. So most of the rosters unlocked for exhibition. The challenge part's still being done. I think he beat that, but we'll see. But yeah, we've been having fun doing that. Um, also, also, like I said, yes, this weekend, my mom went to one of her last conferences that she needed to go to in Livermore. It was only for a few hours, as you pretty much know, just by listening to the audio and video, if you will. Yeah, she only went for a few hours and then came back. Unlike right now, to where she just got to work about 7 minutes ago or so, depending on when she left about 6:56 or 6:55. So it takes 45 minutes to an hour. I'm pretty sure she got there already. Because she probably got there by, let's see, 55 to 45, 50 minutes. To 35 is about 40, so she probably got there just right about now. She probably just got there. But anyway, yeah, she only went for a few hours, and that was okay. She won't have to go to another one, I don't think, ever. But if she does, she always lets me know, and she always lets me know when it's going to be and how long it's going to be. The one thing she doesn't like about it, though, is the fact that, the one thing she doesn't like about a majority of these conferences is they're in Oakland. And even though she rides with some ladies to Oakland to these conferences, she doesn't like them because of the fact that it's in Oakland, and sometimes it's in one of the run-down areas of Oakland. Like she would put it, Graffiti City. But anyway, she went and did the conference one last time, but this time it was in Livermore. That's the one thing she's thankful for, is the fact some of these short conferences, even if they're for 3 hours or 4 hours, are right there in Livermore. She doesn't have to worry about going to Oakland or anything. She doesn't have to worry about that. And then again, of course, Saturday night we got my nephew. I think we got him around 7 or 8. 7, I think. I'm not really 6. Between 6 and 8, I would say. And he was dropped off, and he enjoyed it. No problem. He really enjoyed it. Boy, being here, he played the game. He took his, he just did his routine when he stays the night. And then he went to church. And what's been happening lately, sometimes when he's here or my other nephew's here, here's the thing about our church routine, depending on who's here. You see, my mom, with her truck, she can fit 3 people in there. It just depends on how well she can maneuver it. 3 big people, that's kind of a hard thing to do. Or, 2 small people, a small person, 2 big and small, that's doable. Big and 2 small, that's okay. So, anyway, we went to church yesterday, and what really surprised me and my mom was, she was in the nursery that day. She was in the nursery, and even though I think she had somebody else in there, I think the mother of the daughter, she was in the nursery, and what was surprising is my nephew, which surprised me because I was walking in, and again, like I was trying to say, what's been happening lately is because my mom, like I said, she could fit 3 people in there, but she gets squashed sometimes, especially depending on the size of the person. So me and my mom, at times, So what happens with my mom at times, basically, so what I do basically lately is I'll go and get ready and everything, and even take my shower. And sometimes my shower will run into when they have to leave, and I'm thinking that's okay. I can leave, it benefits her a little bit, gives her room, and it does. So that's what I did. It benefits her. I mean, I can still fit in there with my nephew, Jacob, but he's up to here. He's about to here. He's getting big in a big way. So, he's about to here, or getting there, if you will. So, anyway, I'm walking in there. So anyway, she leaves, they leave without me, so I'm walking in there, walking into church. As, after I've done everything, I'm walking into church, and he's just sitting there. Because my mom's in the nursery, he's just sitting there waiting. Gets his communion and all that. He just sits in there, and he's waiting. And that really surprised me and my mom. Because usually, he'd be with my mom, or he would be with my mom and his cousin. But he was just sitting there waiting, like, just sitting there waiting and everything, and that was good. And so, anyway, he sat there and waited, which was, again, like I said, surprised me and my mom, but it was good that he did that. Anyway, long story short, after we get done with church, I decided, I'm going to walk back and everything, just to give my mom room, because we went and got us because she went and got a Papa Murphy's, or she calls it a Papa U-Bakes. I don't know why she calls it that. But she went to get a Papa Murphy's cowboy pizza, and I guess do some additional shopping at Walgreens and stuff. And then then they came home, and we just relaxed for a majority of the day until we got a call from my second older sister, Modesto. And because of the fact that the day was really nice, it was warm. I mean, it's getting in the 80s now, getting the high 80s. I mean, in fact, high 80s, low 90s. I mean, yesterday, according to what they said, it was about 91. So she wanted to have a little bit of a family get-together, just a barbecue, and, that's what we did. So, overall, it ended on a fun note. And what was not fun was especially for my older sister and her husband, is the phones weren't working. The phones had essentially, they basically went to what is known as a second chance prom, for adults and all that, people just to relive the prom all over again. And they forgot their chargers to their phones. Essentially, their chargers to their iPhones or the HTCs, the Samsungs, if you will. They essentially forgot them. So the things just died out on them. And we were just barely and kind of worried my other sister because they weren't answering. They just went to messaging. So we finally were able to contact them and find out that the phone was essentially dead. So I guess they were able to charge it when they got in the car, which is good. But essentially the phones were dead for a majority of that time. Anyway, I know I'm saying it, but anyway, I'm saying that a lot, but anyway, it was a great week, and great weekend. It was a nice weekend, ended on a nice note, and that's really about it. That's all that happened this weekend, and yeah, this week and this weekend, so yeah, that's about it. Comment below, tell me what you guys think, and thank you for watching this vlog. Peace out.